Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 6 where, yes, we are cranking out another episode back-to-back days. Just look at us go on this front, ladies and gentlemen. It's not an easy task or an easy feat here on 6 of doing back-to-back episodes and cranking out for the World Cup and knowing you got the upload time and all the fun shenanigans of trying to get a video posted before the first kick of the matches of the World Cup today. We got a lot of we got four solid games today from Mexico, South Korea, Switzerland, and Bosnia, Czechia and South Africa, and Canada and Qatar. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good matchups. Should see some more wins today, but there's always those occasional draws pop up. But without further ado, let's dive into a quick recap of what we've been looking like this season thus far. So last episode, when we look at our World Cup games that we've selected from the four yesterday, 3-1, and we had a tie in another, aka Portugal let us down right there. We could have got an easy 4-0 boost to really help us out. But hey, we'll take the 3 wins and 0 losses right now as we continue to climb. That improves our season 5 record thus far. It's 40, 23, and 4. What a great way to look at our season 5 campaign. I'm happy about it. And we have to continue to progress and continue to advance through this campaign one way or another. But with the World Cup, we're getting a lot of good dubs here. I know we're going to start running some losses at some point, but we got to rack up the wins where we can so to really give a solid foundation for our season 5 campaign. But let me tell you how many wins we're up by right now from our losses. We're up by 17. That is a pretty much almost 3 episodes of 6 for 6 where we have to go 0-6 in our picks. And right now we're doing a lot of the slow picks with the World Cup and how many matches. So 4 times out of, nice, simple, easy videos to get up. Like I said, easy, 10-minute videos in and out without a problem. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show on the road. So in the first slot, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a look at the group stage of Canada and Qatar and how things are shaking out in that group right now, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Canada and Qatar both have 1 point in the group stage, but that group is all locked up right now with all 1 point each. This is where you kind of capitalize, get through your group stage so it doesn't come by goal differential. So I think based on what we saw with Canada, I think they got to step up with their tempo, but I think Qatar is going to really stun them and get a victory in this one. I think they're very hungry and determined to do it. Last time you had a friendly Canada 1-2-0, but this Qatar team is creating some very difficult matchups and being very contesting towards everything right now in the World Cup. So we'll see how they, get through everything, but I kind of like them in this matchup to get the nice victory in Qatar. Well, not Qatar, in Canada right now. And this game is taking place in Canada, in Vancouver. So Canada, Qatar, group stage today, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time on FS1. And I have Canada winning. No, and I have Qatar winning this matchup. Next up in the third stage, we have the Czechia versus South Africa in this matchup. Both teams have 0, so they're I wouldn't say both points have 0, but yes, they both lost in that scenario. And South Africa is trailing with 2 goals at the moment. So for them, they really need a significant win. But Czechia is going to be a very tough opponent. And I think they're going to capitalize on this and put South Africa out of the competition. And their World Cup campaign comes to an end. Because I think Czechia is going to get a nice margin of victory to get through out of the group stage. But it's very difficult when you have Mexico and South Korea playing today. Hoping that they draw and Czechia comes out on top. But we'll have to wait and see how that ends up developing. And this match, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is in Atlanta, Georgia. So you can catch Czechia and South Africa group stage today at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Fox, and have Czechia winning it. And next up in the second stage, you have Switzerland versus Bosnia group stage today, 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific time on Fox. Bosnia is stunning the world. They're on a vicious campaign, and I can see them creating panic and pandemonium in this group. They almost stunned Canada, but they gave up a goal. But this Bosnia team is trying to make a statement here today, ladies and gentlemen. And I like them playing up against this Switzerland team because of what they've done thus far. Swiss, drew against Qatar, tied against Australia in that instance. But Bosnia has been drawing teams, but their finishing style is that Italy victory. And we'll see what Bosnia can do on top of this 100% through this one. But give me Bosnia win it in this one. But it's going to be a fun, thrilling match to watch. And the game of the week, which we all like, is Mexico versus South Korea, ladies and gentlemen. What a matchup. The flavor competition, the flavor cup at its finest between the Mexican cuisine and the South Korean cuisine. It's just beautiful down in Mexico. You can't get much better than this. Two very loyal fan bases that are very tooth and nail for their teams. Great atmosphere from what we've been seeing on the social medias between these two countries right now, but now they have to square off to determine who is going to be leading this group. And it's a very pivotal game too in the group stage. We'll see how this grows and develops throughout the World Cup. But that solid 2-0 victory is what they're looking for. Mexico over when they played South Africa, and then Korea as a 2-1 victory over Czechia is another good victory. So this is going to be a hard fought. I could see it being a draw, but let me see what I end up going with in my picks. I end up picking Mexico to pull this one out over South Korea with that home crowd boosting the Mexican national team through and getting them a nice solid victory in the group stage. Without further ado, let's do a quick recap and we'll get you on out of here so you can enjoy your World Cup matchups. In the fourth slot today, we have Canada, Qatar group stage today at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time on FS1, and I have Qatar winning it. In the third section, we have Czechia and South Africa group stage today at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Fox, and I have Czechia winning this matchup. In the second group, we have Switzerland and Bosnia group stage today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific Time on Fox, and I have Bosnia winning this matchup. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the game of the week, Mexico, South Korea group stage today at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Fox, and I have Mexico winning it. And like I said, our last episode, we were 3-0-1, which looks pretty good if you ask me, because now we're up 17 games for our losses right now. So that looks pretty. So we got to keep this campaign going, keep it climbing our way out of there. And you have, our record is 40, 23-4. So hopefully we can keep growing. But I know our ties are going to continue to grow until we get out of the group stage for the World Cup. So make sure you tune in for another episode of 6 for 6. And thank you so much for watching Season 5, Episode 14 of 6 for 6. And we'll catch you all next time. So long for now. Bye-bye.